All right, y'all. Welcome back to Can Truman Make a Feature, the podcast. We are currently recording on Wednesday, November 13th. So we are halfway through the month of November. All we have left after that, as far as a full month, is December. So we are 2 months and 1 week out right now. So it is gearing up, and we definitely need to get into showtime mode a little more than we are. But we are damn close to being ready for that. So I did three main things this week. I started sending out a producer email so that rather than me bugging my friends while we're hanging out to do things, I'd just send the email. But I have had it confirmed that at least one of them hasn't read the email. And I sent it out on Sunday, and today's Wednesday. So we'll see if they haven't even read the email. It likely means that they haven't done much producing, but we will see. Um, doesn't matter. I have been grunting all of this as much as possible. And I'm also the only one that doesn't have a full-time job, so it certainly falls on me responsibility-wise much more. And then also it's my thing that I wrote and I'm gonna direct. It's they didn't decide they wanted to make a feature film, but we'll see. Um, maybe this will gear us up and maybe it won't. But what I did do is I made the pedal template email. And so this is thing number one. And I sent it out to, I believe, 13 pedal companies just to start. And the reason why I didn't send it out to more, because I did that about a week ago, is because I instantly got three responses. I was shocked that I got three responses instantly. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, badass, right? So anyway, I responded to them. We got three people, and as I said in the shortened version of the podcast on TikTok, I'm gonna keep their names a secret for now. Not to keep y'all out of the loop, but because mentioning their names might bring them more publicity in a way that I'm currently trying to get them to pay for. And so I want to keep that reserved. However, happy to tell you all the details about everything. Person number one emailed back and said, "Hey, we'd love to send you a pedal." Right? And they specifically said they're going to send me a fuzz pedal, which it seems like other people want to send their fuzz pedals too. So if I got everybody sending me a fuzz pedal, I don't know how fuzzy the sound can get. Also, for those of you who don't know what pedals are, they just are little effects that you turn on for your guitar's sound to change. And fuzz, of course, makes the guitar sound fuzzy. Um, anyway, so that was a good one for sure. Good email that boom, we've got a pedal. No problems, no ifs, ands, or buts. Only thing is they want to post our shit to their social media, and we of course are posting their shit on ours. And I'm like, great, that sounds awesome. Drive up our shit, drive up their shit. Boom. Only thing is, it seems like the money thing's a non-starter there. It seems like they're willing to send us a fuzz pedal, and that's about it, which is fair, and I'm pumped about. However, the current goal that I have is 5,000 more dollars. If I can get 5,000 more dollars, I'll be really, really happy. And then person number two emailed and said come by his shop. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll come by his shop, get to meet him in person. Sounds good. Luckily he's, Austin local. So badass. I swung by the shop literally today, and first off, nice, pleasant, hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, cool. Is this the pedal? Is this the? And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I looked at it, looked cool, and I was like, do you mind if I test it out? Just see what it is. I'd love to, see what's up. And he goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we end up getting to talking, and he goes, hey, by the way, what's the movie about, And I go, well, it's about a guy who falls in love with a, guitar salesman over the phone. And he goes, oh, over the phone. And I go, yeah, over the phone. So, as much as it was, he had offered to let us shoot in the guitar store. And I said, well, since it's all over the phone, we wouldn't really need to do that, but I really appreciate the offer. And he goes, well, here's the thing. I'm a, single person making pedals. I make them to order. So this pedal that you're holding right now is one of three pedals I have right now made. Other than that, I make them to order, and I just can't let people, can't give away my pedals. And I go, yeah, no worries. So now I'm also like, right away, money's going to be a non-starter if he's barely even thrilled about us taking one of the pedals, right? So anyway, he gets to talking. I'm like, yeah, no worries. Just borrow the pedal, bring it right back, and then you don't lose the pedal. And he goes, oh no, the pedal doesn't leave the store until it's bought. And I go, oh, now I understand. So this is not going to work, period. And he goes, yeah. And I was like, well, I guess I'll still test out the pedal just to, see what you have because that sounds cool. So I go over there, plug it in, and it's all on full blast. So I immediately get feedback, and he leaps up out of his seat, comes over, and starts dialing the knobs, which I'm like, fuck. Now it looks like I'm an idiot who doesn't know anything. So bummer there. And then now that I'm flustered, and I've already been flustered, I just lose all the riffs that I knew how to play, and I didn't want to play one of the riffs that everybody plays. So I didn't play Smells Like Teen Spirit. I didn't play my shitty version of uh uh Master of Puppets. I did kind of noodle around with Search and Destroy. Y'all don't need to know what songs I played, but they sounded like shit, and I went over and returned the pedal and walked out of there humiliated. But before I did that, to humiliate even further, I asked the guy, hey man, I've been looking into it, and I've found a couple pedals that are doing what I want them to do. I'm new to the pedal game. I only have a couple pedals on my personal rig. But I want pedals that just when you press them, they make a weird noise. And I was like, I've found harmonizers, stutters, and I'm looking at things like that. What do you think about all that? Do you have any pedal recommendations for shit like that? And he just was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh, I'm just looking for weird noises where it's like really obvious when you turn the pedal on that there's a weird noise. And he was like, well, delay is fine for that, which is like echo, or look into modulation, which, I not, he seemed to think I was more dumb than I am, which maybe I think that I'm smarter than I am. But I was embarrassed, and I think I didn't present myself well. So no fault on him. So if you're one of the 20 listeners listening to the podcast right now, I don't think that you're a jerk for thinking I'm an idiot. I think you're probably right to think I'm an idiot. But anyway, I hope the next guy doesn't think I'm an idiot. So next time, I am going to practice a fucking riff so that when I go in there and play the pedal, I play a specific riff that I have practiced and it sounds like I know what the fuck I'm doing. even though I sat there and practiced the fucking riff. So fine. Um, anyway, um, on the way home, I stopped at two camera shops and asked them about their prices for renting camera gear. And both of them had more pleasant answers than I expected. However, they're both still crazy expensive. But it does look less and less like I think it's a good idea to purchase a camera. But then again, renting an $800 camera renting a camera for $800 versus buying a camera for 1,000, there's some ideas there. And, still, it's not off the table to purchase a camera, but it's something I'm thinking about. We will see. The guy caught me in a lie though. I was like, "Hey, you offer a student discount?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Where you go?" I was like, "SCAD." And he was like, "Are you currently enrolled?" That's middle of the semester and we're in Austin, Texas, and you're talking about a school in Georgia. I go, "No, not really." Should have just said I'm in online school, but he had already said there was no student discount. So, whatever. Anyway, final pedal company. We chat with number three, and he instantly responds, "I'm interested 110%." And I'm like, "Whoa, dude, that's awesome." And he's also from Texas. And anyway, I email back and I'm like, "Hey, so glad you're interested 110%. By the way, I didn't mention it in the first email because I'm, kind of catfishing. I didn't say it like that. We are hoping for money." And he, of course, said, and I asked him a couple questions about the pedals as well. And, he said, "I'm just one guy making pedals in the garage. I don't know anything, but if you're just asking for some money to support the cause, I'm also not against that." Which I was like, "Oh, badass." So the money was not a no-go, a non-starter. So I'm like, hell yeah, I really like this guy. This is my favorite pedal company so far. Right, just based on his enthusiasm, but also I really like the way his pedals look, and he's Texas. So anyway, so yeah, I chat with him some more, and I just sent back the kind of big email of, "Here's the script if you want to read it. Here's my reel. Here's my last short film," which one of my professors may have mentioned that it's an interesting idea to make your first short film about suicide and have it graphically depict suicide in the film. And I said, "I know what I'm doing. I want to make a controversial, I want to make a big film that's going to have people talking. It's smart, it's weird, it's crazy, you know?" And I was right. Everyone that sees it goes, "Man, that's really cool. That's really interesting." But everyone that sees it also goes, "Fuck, I also really didn't want to watch somebody kill themselves today." And that wasn't fun. Um, so luckily I made a film that's very respectable. However, it's always like, God damn it, I have to send the kill yourself film to another person as my opening, high, because that's by far my most professional film. Um, but then again, we're talking about people who make pedals that say Satan on it and shit. So I get the feeling that nobody's going to be too pissed about that one, but we'll see. Um, so then that's enough of the pedal chapter. I'll get into the next chapter, and I'll actually pause the recording and bring in a prop to show y'all. All right, I'm gonna start by showing you the guitar that I believe we talked about that last week. Here's my head for scale. It's a pretty small guitar as far as my fingers are pretty squeezed on it. However, again, we did the the old mess around with it. And then currently, as you can see right there, I printed out the Freemason square and compass, cut it out with, paper and scissors, and then I glued it on there. And then I currently have it hanging up in my sister's window, while she's off at college. And I'm hoping that the sun fades onto the guitar and makes it look like there's been a Stone and Compass sticker on there for years, and now it's off. That's the goal, because ideally, right, this opening image, because that's the opening image of the movie, is that faded symbol on the guitar. It sends the message that at one point this was something that the character really thought was cool or really cared about or something along the lines, right? And now is something they don't want to advertise that they care about, which, if you want to know why that's the case, watch the movie. Um, but anyway, so that's very important. And hopefully it starts sun spotting. I always love when I end up having to do a craft for a movie. Sincerely, not sarcastically. And then it looks like the airdrop didn't work, but there was one more thing I was going to show y'all. I'm going to try airdropping it one more time. But I was making a casting flyer. Well, not me making the casting flyer. But I asked one of my other producers, Matthew, to make the casting flyer. And here it is. You can see it right there. It says, "Are you a guy? Are you an asshole? Great. We need three of them for a movie. One of y'all better be a guitar player or I'm pissed. Send self-tapes to truman.matheny@gmail.com." Probably shouldn't be saying that, but whatever. More info at tinyurl.com/tonality totality. Or click here if you're lazy, in the QR code. And he also went ahead and put tear off pieces for the flyer, which I think is hilarious. We are gonna fuck around and put it up. Who knows? People might be interested based on that flyer than the more traditional one. But I had him also start working on one that has all of the information we need. He had one that was, but it didn't look punk enough or whatever. And so I wanted it to give a slightly more accurate depiction of what we're going for in the movie. So I think that is everything I want to talk to y'all about this week. So glad we had another short episode. Stay tuned. Check me out on Instagram, Tonality and Totality. And check me out on TikTok and keep tuning in. Thanks again, y'all.